So the Ecto is a tough sale. We've talked about it. I gave you my input on it. I'm not 100% sure that that's something I can do right now. But there's another item which I absolutely can. Let's talk about that. So there were two items, and they looked like they were both HasLabs when they first were announced or whatever, especially the way that they were announced to me. But I was given the idea that we would have the Ghostbusters car, which I said, okay, all right. I don't know that I can do that, but boy, it sure is cool. And then that was followed up by the announcement of a Sentinel. And here's the kicker for the Sentinel. This one is really cool because at first I was like, I'm going to miss out on both of these. Only to find out that this is a pre-order item. And on top of that, this is a pre-order item that I was told does not take the money until it ships. That means this $174, $175, we'll just put it at $200. $200 Sentinel pays in a year. You got to have enough money to get it paid for by then. And guys, this is it, man. This is the Sentinel. I know I missed out on the other Sentinel, and people may say stuff one way or another. Oh, this one isn't as cool as the last one. Maybe so for you, but for me, this is my Sentinel. This is what I remember from the comic books. This is what I saw in the animated series. This is the Sentinel. And while I would definitely set mine up better than this is set up here, this is awesome. The laser hands, the individual fingers that can actually grip guys, the battle damage head swap out, the battle damage chest plate. Like, this is it for me. This is absolutely the Sentinel that I know. This is the Sentinel that I like. 100%. If you were to tell me, look at this. Guys, this is sick. You're looking at Scott, one of the bigger of the X-Men. He comes in at 6.4 inches, okay? And this mug right here is whopping in at 22.2. This guy is huge. Like, I know he's not as big as the other Sentinel, but one could argue that it's not making any difference. Look at that. Does that not look scaled properly to what you saw in the cartoon? That is amazing to me. He can actually hold an entire figure in his hand. This guy's a toddler. Like, oh, look at this. This is so good. I love this. Like, this is it for me. This is the Sentinel. This is what I know. This is what I like. This is what I want. This is it, man. This, I'm not missing out on. I have plenty of time to put my money back and get this. And you better believe I'm going to. This looks amazing to me. And I don't think that I'm going to be mad. Like, I remember I felt some kind of way about missing out on the Sentinel. But, I mean, to say things work out, this is my Sentinel. This is not only the Sentinel that I know. When I picture a Sentinel in my mind, it is this. It is this guy. Nothing else. Nobody else ever. It's this guy. This is the one that comes to mind every time I think of a Sentinel. So, like, that's perfect. just turns out to be huge, which is also perfect. And then I'm telling my wife about it. My wife says, where are you going to put him? Aren't you running out of space? And I told my wife, listen, I will find space in this room for a Sentinel. Promise. Absolute promise. She goes, where do you think you're going to put him? And I was like, he will sit on my lap if he has to. He's getting in this room with these X-Men. Like, absolutely. This I will not miss out on. I am going to wait till my next paycheck comes in. Because this is just a pre-order. I can just do it. Like, the pre-order will end. It says, pre-order by 11/26, 2024. Estimated ship date subject to change. Yeah. And that they plan to ship this approximately October 1st next year. But like I said, you could pre-order up till next month on the 26th. So I have more than enough time to put like $30 a paycheck back and then just kind of seal that away. Basically like a little lockbox. This is perfect. This is perfect. I feel kind of crappy that I'm more than likely going to miss out on the Ghostbusters Ecto1. I have a feeling I'm not getting it. It's life, right? But I'm not about to miss out on this. I'm going to get a Sentinel. Like, that's thrilling, okay? For me, it is. And I'm thinking about this and, like, talk about doing some things right, man. They released Dragon Man the same way. Just get him. Just get the Dragon Man. They release a Sentinel. Just get him. And then later on, he'll show up. Like, I don't mind these kinds of things. When they're not super overpriced, and one could argue that the Sentinel is too much money. Okay. I'm not trying to be apologetic here. Like, be an apologist, be a Hasbro. But, like, just for argument purposes, the only people we got to justify to is ourselves. Okay? That's the truth of it. And if I am going to justify this for myself, then let me just say this. One, he is a Sentinel. Okay? His foot is Cyclops size. If he is complete plastic, like full mold, no hollow, right? If he's full plastic, if he's a heavy boy, then his foot in equivalent plastic is $24. Am I wrong? Just making an argument here, but look, Cyclops is a little bigger than his foot. And one would argue that if you smash Cyclops down into this much plastic, that's $24. That's $24. We'll even count this as just another $24. So we're at $75. There's $100. There's $124. All this chest cavity, plus the extra stuff, plus the beams and a head and the face plates, that's another $50, personally. In just materials alone, I've already justified $200. Personally, it's $200 worth of plastic. It is 100% a new sculpt. It will be rare. It's an actual collector's item, just like we have yet to see them just simply re-release Galactus. They're not going to do that here. We've already seen they're not going to do it. We've seen proof of it. How many times did they re-release the Sentinel? Like that's not a seller. You can't sell that. You see what I'm getting at? So, like, it's rare. It's more than enough plastic. It fits the scale. I want it. I can justify this easily, and I have way more than enough time to pay for it. If what I'm hearing is true, and I believe I heard this from Geek Dad Life, they will charge you when it ships, or when it's ready to ship. So I have until next October to put $20 bills back. If I could save $20 a month for 10 months next year, Sentinel, I don't see failure here. For me, this is perfect and easily justifiable. And since the only person I have to convince is myself, I'm getting a Sentinel. I might miss out on the Ghostbusters Ecto1 I. In fact, there's a very huge chance that I am missing out on it. But I'm not going to miss out on a Sentinel. I can live with that. We don't get to collect everything. Unless you're rich. If you are, I love that for you. But I don't have it. I work a 9-to-5 labor job. My real world job is not great. It's fine. I make decent enough money, I guess. I'm fine. I'm a floor worker. I work for a union. I'm a laborer. I pick parts, I ship, I work in logistics. I've done it for as long as I can remember. I make okay money. I make enough that my lights don't turn off. I live fairly comfortably. And I get to buy some toys. But the trade-off is that I certainly don't have enough money to buy all the toys. And proof of that is if you go far enough back in my old videos, you'll notice that this room has changed dramatically over the years because I can only add what I can add to it, and I only buy things at a certain rate, a certain pace, which seems like a huge pace because by the time I get in here to make videos, I'm like, bam, 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 and I'm like releasing like 17 videos, like I'm just unboxing like every day. That's not the truth of it. That's not the truth of it. I don't think that I've had a toy delivered to this house in 3.5 weeks. And I have not gone out to shop for one either. The last thing that showed up at the house, maybe it was a month ago, like a full month ago, maybe a little longer. It was the most recent Motu figures for Masterverse, which I'm currently doing videos on right now. I've got the first 2 out already. That was it. That was the last item that came to the house. So it may look like I'm buying like crazy, but it's really not true. It just happens to be the way the videos come in. When I find the free time to be able to do videos, I do a lot of them. So like I get in here and I'm like, oh man, I have some actual downtime. I can rock out videos and I'll do like sometimes I'll film like 7 or 8 videos in a single sitting. Just bam, 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 bam. And then I'll kind of edit them all and put them out over the course of 2 weeks or whatever. And it looks like, oh man, Bill opens up something new every day or something like that. It's not, that's very misleading. It's not actually true. But that's why that looks like that. In fact, the next video ready to be filmed is right back there, as you can see. So that's good. Hey, Lexi, baby. But that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I've said my piece. This I'm not skipping on. Let me know what's going on in your head. Is this too much? Are you out of the game? Is this not fair? Is my justification ridiculous? I don't know. But when it comes right down to it, I don't got to convince you. I've convinced me. And if you're on board with that, that's fine. And if you're not, that's also fine. Because regardless of how you feel, I'm getting a Sentinel. Later, guys.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.